Robin Hood, the shit-covered hero who gets everyone killed in order to foil a sinister plot that wouldn't have worked anyways. This is Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness. Hello and welcome back again to Stinker Madness. With me in Studio Stinker 2 is Jackie and Sam, of course.
Hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
And we have special guests, Shaun and Chelsea.
Hello.
Our good friends who have also taken part in many stinkers over the years. We just got done viewing Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner and Mary Mastroianni. Anybody know how to say her name?
Mastroianni.
I think it's probably Christian.
Christiana.
Christiana.
Oh, yeah. Mary Christiana. Yeah, she's good. She's good. Well, it's also got Morgan Freeman. We're never going to get it. What did you say?
Mastroianni. Mary Elizabeth Mastroianni.
Do you know for sure that that's it?
I believe that's it.
Huh. Impressive. You only know that because you're Italian.
It's because she shows her boobs in the abyss, and I always try to keep a name, match a name with the boobs.
You feel guilty as a human being if you... Like you've violated somebody if you don't at least know their name once you've seen their boobs.
No, it took me like 2 weeks to remember Monique Gabrielle's name.
I don't know who that is.
Well,
he's like, that's the waitress from the Crescent.
Because you haven't seen her boobs.
Yeah, once you see her boobs, you're like, wow. She was the one I was talking about that was like the chief smuggler of boobs.
Oh, yes.
In Deathstalker 2, because you're like, when she takes her shirt off, you're like, where were you hiding those things? They're gigantic.
Sweater puppies.
Mm-hmm. Just out of nowhere.
That's
like,
what I said.
whoa!
Exactly. I said
Did you
it's
say
sweater
sweater
puppies
puppies?
during the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He said that.
It seems appropriate.
Nice.
Hidden boobs are
Yeah.
sweater puppies.
Sweater puppies. This movie is god awful.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly bad. Like, it's a surprise. Like, holy shit.
Well, it starts off fucking awful because you see somebody's grandma's needlepoint. She's like made this quilt tapestry thing for the movie that has like a retarded king on it.
I'm telling you, that's just what the artwork from back then looks like.
Somebody's head up somebody else's ass, and it's like... And these guys, Justin was like, that's probably like a really expensive artwork thing. And I'm like, or somebody's grandma did that.
I'm pretty
Grandma,
sure
It was
make a
Maid Marian.
movie.
Maid Marian.
I think Maid
obviously
Marian did
sewed
that.
all of the tapestry.
See, here's the problem with your argument, Sam, that's an actual piece of treasured 10th century tapestry. I'm pretty sure it's easier to recreate that than it is to get one.
Regardless if it's a recreation,
that's
probably
just what it looks
looked
like.
Yeah.
They're really sort of known for very odd-looking, two-dimensional art.
Well, I'd like to revisit
We don't
the
have
beginning.
three-dimensional art, really.
Perspective happens like 200, 300 years later in France.
You sound like you got your head up your butt. You're just muffling out shit.
You're not going to get a third dimension on needlepoint.
No.
And you keep layering the needle.
Right.
Yeah. But
How fancy is it really going to get?
All their stained glass looks exactly like that.
But I'd like to talk about the beginning of our version of this movie with the two-sided DVD.
Oh, yeah.
So
So weird. Yeah, if you get this on DVD, like, I wonder if that's the first print.
Not
of
enhanced
that.
for one. It's the same copy you had before, I think.
I don't remember.
Because it's not enhanced for 16:9 television, so it's like there's a little picture in the main TV area.
That is the exact same size as your TV.
Aspect ratio.
Yeah.
Well,
But the important thing is that it starts off with Hobbits leading Maid Marian to Costner,
if you put the wrong side of the disc in, you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck? And it doesn't even like give you a menu. It just dives right in.
Right to Costner.
You're now watching a movie of Costner's ass.
But I have
there.
But I have a theory about this though. So this is 92-ish.
One of us.
What did I say?
91. I have that right here. It's
Okay.
91.
Probably should have known that. But this is probably harking back, probably first printing to where you had the 2 VHS tapes because it was such a long movie.
Oh.
I wonder.
You're sort of in that transition period where people need to get up. They need an intermission to flip the disc over.
I'm thinking
Grandma's
got
got to make some tea.
Right,
And,
you gotta make some more popcorn.
Get more needlepoint out. She's
Reload the
been
needle
inspired now.
It's not enhanced.
Answered
and
the telephone.
it doesn't have, obviously it's smaller in the TV, so I'm thinking the original DVDs were MPEG 2 and not MPEG 4, and it was less of a good compression. But that's why, I mean, it's not a long movie. It should fit on one DVD.
It's 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
It should fit on a DVD.
You can fit that
Absolutely.
on a DVD.
I'm confused by it. I'm vexed.
That's what it's an MPEG 2 compression.
Maybe it's because it's just too hot. Just too hot. You got to take a break. Oh my god, I'm just too excited.
Neither
Before
that.
the butt scene, you need a break before you go into the
I
butt
subscribe to Chelsea's theory that's lady porn right there. The lady can go directly to Kevin Costner's, not actually Kevin Costner's ass, but they don't know that. You know, their
But don't
40-year-old mom alone has the house to herself one weekend. Time to dial up some Kevin Costner porn takes you right to it.
Well, I could have skipped the first hour of the movie for sure. I
Just
could have
gone
gone
straight
straight to yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, to the butt scene. I'm with Chelsea.
Yeah, and passed over creepy Maid Marian's pervy grin.
Does it? So let's ask the ladies. Does it matter that it's actually not Kevin
I think
Costner's
it's
ass
better.
to you? Oh, it's better.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because you get the Costner smile and the charm without actual.
Hey, dude, a nice butt is a nice butt.
For
Now-
sure. Even though it's strangely tan and cloudy.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Because he is on screen in that sequence without his shirt on or
California
whatever.
Joe's ass.
Originally, I'm thinking maybe he was just a little out of shape. And he didn't want, because he was getting his ass out all the time before that. You think it was that he was out of shape, or was he just
I
like,
think the
fuck
water
that,
was
the
cold.
water's too cold.
Yeah, I think it's the water.
Get his stunt ass in here. I'm not swimming around in that shit.
So weird edit. Mark is now here as well.
Hey, Mark! Woo!
Yeah,
Mark in his inappropriate shorts.
yeah. Mark's balls are out for us, so that's fun.
He just got back from the mountains.
That's right.
Hey, but you know, now me and Chelsea have had double whammy today. Costner butt and Mark balls.
Yep.
Of poorly tanned crotchal regions. Speaking of poorly tanned crotchal regions, so yeah, California Joe, the stunt double for Costner's ass, needs to either take his shirt or put his shirt on or take his pants off when he sits out in the sun. Because
I think he's Surfer Bro.
I think he's total surfer bro.
Yeah.
Which
Like that's a Venice Beach
they
guy right
shot
there that
this
they
in
just
England.
found.
Yeah, where they get
So-
the
They would have had to.
England
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
true.
So, like, who is that guy, and how did they not get a guy that didn't have tan lines?
It's somebody's
Because
brother.
there's no...
Yep.
You never see the sun in this damn movie.
It's the cliffs of Dover, Nigel. That's who it is.
Well, isn't even there a reference
the
by
break at
Morgan
the Cliffs of
Freeman
Dover.
about Black
Killer,
Ascension?
bro.
Yeah, he says,
Yeah.
where's the sun in this country?
Right, and then they have a super tan Robin Hood.
And
Sort of.
he never really... He's not getting a tan in the dungeon.
Yeah, dude.
Disparagingly tanned.
Oh yeah, and he's been locked up for 5 years.
Yeah.
Now he should not be tan.
No, that doesn't make any sense. So anyways,
So he's part of the crusade.
Like, this
right?
is the
So-
worst plot hole in the movie, is the stunt double's tan lines. Every fucking thing that happens is like, I don't know about this
There's
thing
some
now.
pretty big plot holes. I think the whole plot is
Yeah.
a plot hole.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into later. But speaking of plot holes, so if you put in the right side of the disc and start the movie from where the people in the theater got to see it from, Robin's in jail.
Yeah, he
During
starts
the
out in
Crusades
the
in
dungeon.
Jerusalem.
In Jerusalem, yeah.
But he's been in jail for 5 years.
5 years.
All of them have, yeah.
But, so he's been down there for some time, and
He's got a real
the
gross
guy,
beard.
they're like chopping hands off because
For bread stealing.
For bread stealing. So the hands that they're chopping off are 5-year-old gold
Like, that's
crimes
how backed up they are.
of hand choppings.
Of hand choppings.
Like-
5 years later, they're finally
we're
getting
on,
you.
Oh, we're finally to
Yeah.
July 17th of
And meanwhile,
1189.
the English
Bread
folks
stealing.
are down there going like, they really need to go up to England and show people how to queue.
Or do they?
Where they're like,
we
should get to
we
these
can
English
show these guys
guys.
how to do bureaucracy.
We don't make swords as good as the Spanish. We all know that, but we can line up like nobody's business.
and they're in a dungeon. Like, where are they going to steal shit from? Their hands are chained to the wall.
Well, maybe
in
they
a
forgot
dungeon.
what they were actually down there for, and they're
How long
like,
have you been down here for?
how long
I
have
was
these
here
guys...
for bread.
Yeah, like, what are you guys even fucking here for? It's not probably like they didn't have like a prison record system. They're like, how long have those guys been down there? Their hair is super long.
That's what you didn't
Right.
see beforehand. There was a whole conversation with the prisoners, and they're like, "So what are you in for? Rape? What are you in for? Rape? What are you in for? Rape? What are you in for? Rape?" And then it's time for something to get chopped off, and they're all like, bread stealing!
Head or hand?
I think it'd be the other thing for radio.
Oh, I think it's head. Just a different, not the top one. The bottom one.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
And I like how everybody is in chains. Everybody. Every single person.
Except for
Except
Azeem.
Morgan
Except for
Freeman
Morgan
has got
Freeman.
a rope.
So are you
A
to
rope.
imply that he just got there? Because he's not super bearded.
No.
And he's tied up with rope, like they're out of
Oh,
chains.
so he's the new guy.
Yeah.
And he's a Moor, which is interesting because...
Yeah, they're like, dude, he's a black guy. We're not giving him real chains. He gets a rope.
They
I don't
were
get it.
I hope
not
you get rope burn, you
like,
bastard.
like-
involved
Crusades
with
were-
that. The Moors were
And he wasn't even
Northern
allowed to sit
Africa and
down.
Spain.
Right.
But how long was
In
he in there
Italy,
for?
too.
In
There was
Italy,
one guy
yeah.
hung up,
Sicily
like,
area.
But not really so much in the
Leonardo
Crusades.
style.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spread eagle.
I think he was
Yeah.
just wandering in
Starfishing.
the wrong direction. It was like, oh, shit. Jerusalem.
No,
That's
because
not a
he
good
said
person.
he said that he was there for boning somebody's wife.
Somebody's
Oh,
lady.
That's right.
The
Jasmine. Jasmine, yeah.
It wasn't Jasmine, it was Jasmina.
Jasmina.
Yes, I remember that because
It's
was
more-
unnecessary to fill in.
Aladina's wife.
Aladina.
Get it?
No, I
No.
don't.
Okay. So he's there, and that's neat and all, but so it's so stupid because the guy gets his hand chopped off, and then it's, who stole the bread? And Robin's like, I stole the bread. And so it's time for Robin to get his hand chopped off, but all he does is pull the rope that's holding his hand to the chopping block, thus bringing the other guy's hand to get chopped off. Like, that's...
Well, and you forgot, he put
First-
his hand out there first, and he's like, this is English courage.
English bravery.
Bravery.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he gave him the steely Costner eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wait till you see my butt later.
So is that the first time anybody ever tried to, like, ha-ha, I pulled your hand onto the chopping block?
Yeah, maybe.
I felt like they were surprised.
They were
They
surprised.
seemed surprised.
We did not think this through at all.
Apparently, it was the new guy's day because he locked up the one guy with rope instead of chains.
Yeah.
You guys had a good
So
day.
Morgan Freeman had only been there for like 4 hours.
Right.
I'd
And then
also
the guy
like
that
to
just
say-
got his hand cut off was like, pull. Fuck me. I'd still have a hand.
Yeah.
Bread again! Bread again! I'll do it again!
Do over. Shit, too fast. Now I don't have any hands.
And then the classic chopping the chain with the sword.
But that didn't work.
But it doesn't work.
Right.
He has to, he can only save Morgan. Which, no! He saves his buddy Pete.
The guy that got shot immediately. Immediate Pete.
Right, immediate Pete. What was he? Wasn't he chained up?
I don't know what was going on.
I
Yeah,
thought that he got
the chain
disconnected
got chopped with the sword.
yeah, I think he
for
did.
bread, too, and because Kevin Costner was
Disconnected?
like...
He got disconnected for bread?
Yeah, from his hand.
Yeah,
He was
from his-
disconnected.
Yeah.
Disconnected.
That's the right way to put it.
Yeah, he
I've
was...
been disconnected.
Oh no, they did. They're gonna do both of them. Now
Yeah,
he's
they were
already
going to do
free.
a 2-for-1 on this bread.
okay.
So they're
Right,
just
right.
holding him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
and because there's action, they can't continue to hold the feeble old guy.
I'm surprised
right.
that they actually even tied that in together. I'm surprised that the guy was loose. Like, I'm surprised that actually fits.
Right.
It seems like they would
Yeah.
just let some random
Yeah,
guy
they
go.
should be withery and atrophied, like you said. They should not be ready for action by any means.
After
like
5 years?
Yeah, like, oh, we're chained up and it's time to stand. Thump. They just fall right over. Like, let's get out of here. Whap.
So, this is what I want to know, right? They escape, Peter gets shot by an arrow.
One arrow.
One arrow.
guy.
In
And
the
then
chest.
he gives Robin Hood this really fancy ruby and diamond gold ring. And he's like, give it to Marian. I'm like, where have you been hiding that for 5 years?
Where do you think?
That has
Where do
got
you
to
think?
sink something fierce.
Hide
Yeah.
his ass.
Well, as we learn later,
Yeah.
Robin
And
Hood
when
has
did
no
he pull
aversion
it
to
out?
poo.
He's quick.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the arrow. The arrow dislodges it from his tummy and just shoots it right out of
Oh,
his butthole.
he had this. He had I'm dying poops.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's like, oh, give this to Marian. What is it? Is this a turd? No, it's not. It's a ring.
I was very
Turd.
impressed with the sewer system in Jerusalem, though.
Pretty
The escape
Yeah, it had a
sewer.
manhole.
It had a manhole cover.
I
Yeah.
didn't even think
amazing.
about that.
Yeah.
Good one. Yeah.
Ahead of their
A
time.
full sewer system complete with manhole covers.
I like
Yeah.
It was impressive.
that the arrow guy shoots Pete
And then just
immediate Pete,
wanders
and
off.
just wanders off. Like, okay, I got one. I'm good.
Good. Got my quota
He made
for
his
the month.
quota. Yeah.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Or
But
like
then-
somebody was like, break, and he's oh okay. They're still there. I'll shoot them when I get back.
Oh, I
but-
hope
Yeah.
those donuts from this morning are still there.
Yeah.
Those famous Jerusalem donuts.
I also like the quick clip of melon boobies.
Oh, yeah.
Mickey Mellons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like boobs.
Yeah, that's somebody, the prop guy did that, and nobody else knows that it was funny except for the one prop guy.
He's
Yeah.
back there in the back laughing.
Yeah.
No, hold them more up like this.
Get him the shot, Costner.
So, immediate Pete gets one in the chest, gives the ring to, the poop ring to Robin, and then is like, this is for my country, and runs, like, he's in good shape now. He is in
Great
perfect
shape.
fighting condition.
That's his last
even though
hurrah.
he's got an arrow stuck into his chest.
I'm
And
not dead
like a
yet.
second ago, he
10
was like,
minutes he couldn't even stand.
oh, fight time. Runs at the guys, distracts them to allow Robin and Azeem to run off into the night.
Right.
And so, is that when Azeem gets his life saved? Or is it just that Robin
it's
cuts
Cuts him
loose.
free.
Cuts him
Yeah.
loose.
That's
in the
saving
prison.
his life.
Right.
Not saving his hand from getting lopped off.
Right. No, he saved his life. I think they were going to lop off more than his hand for the sexy time with the
Yeah.
With Jasmina.
Jasmina.
But then they escape on a boat. They found a rowboat.
Right. Right.
And
that has a
and
barber
3 or
on
4
it.
other people on the boat.
Yeah, who were those guys?
Yeah.
Apparently,
Picked
though,
him up
you do
along
not
the
need
way.
a seaworthy vessel, though, to get from Jerusalem back to England.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You
well,
just
that
use
is
a
a-
shitty
You
rowboat.
That is a long ways.
most of the trip to Jerusalem was not done by sea. That is actually...
No, you would walk,
They
but
would
you'd still have to
make
cross
their way
the channel.
across.
Yeah, the channel, which you can do in a rowboat.
They'd still have to make it
Not
across the
advised.
sea.
Not advised.
You have to make it from Jerusalem to mainland Europe and then walk across.
Well,
Why
they
can't
got
you
to
just go
Europe
up through
in really good
Turkey
shape.
and-
No, they go up
Yeah,
through
it looks
Turkey.
like
They went up through
walk-ins.
Turkey and the whole deal.
Yeah, so
they
they
did
went all
almost
the way
all of
around.
it through the...
So maybe they picked them up in France or something.
Well, it said 4 months. It took them 4 months from the time of the prison.
Right. They ate one melon. They shared a half a melon.
That's right. They
And-
stole
and
2
stopped to
more.
get a haircut.
Stop
Stop
to
to get-
pick up the
A
barber.
weed eater.
Yep.
Haircut, yeah.
See, that's my problem with the attack on Azeem outside of the boat. Is like, oh, I'm going to bump you on the head and put you back in the boat and send you back to Jerusalem because I don't want you, or wherever you're from, Mr. Moorman. And you do that in England instead of all the way. So you make him follow you around for 4 months on a boat to be implied.
He now
And
has rickets.
now he has rickets, and now you put him back in the boat and send him on his way.
That's why he doesn't want him
so
anymore,
dumb.
because he's got rickets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
too late.
and that's kind of the dickhead nature of Robin Hood.
He is a dickhead.
He
Oh,
just
yeah.
used him as much as he needed him. He's like, get out of here,
Yes,
guy.
indeed.
Oh, you've done your fair share of rowing. Now row your ass back to Africa, you black son of a bitch. What a douche. But yeah, they get back to England, and the 2 other guys on the boat just fuck off.
They run away after the attack. They run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, they grab their buddy
They're
and they're
probably
out of there.
French.
Oh,
I think they're French.
On foreign soil.
run away. They smelled of garlic. So maybe
Yeah,
they're
one of them
French,
smelled the garlic.
Maybe they're Italian.
Italian.
They'd be a long
yeah.
way out.
With the salty sea breeze, you can pick up that hint of garlic.
Yeah, so they've got a melon and some garlic on this boat.
Right. Half a melon.
No,
Tasty.
What do they do with all
no
those
bread
melons?
though, because they have like
I don't know.
no bread though,
No bread.
No.
No, bread's hard to come by.
and they have the PTSD with the bread. So no bread.
And
PTSD.
Jerusalem was the last time
Post-traumatic
we heard
stress disorder?
Costner accent.
Yeah, because their
right.
hands almost
The
got chopped
hands.
off for
Yeah,
bread.
yeah.
Way to be slow on the uptake there, dude.
I don't read the news.
Well,
I like, and when he was in Jerusalem was the very first and last time we heard Costner use an accent.
No!
I only
Standing
heard it
on
that
the
one
wall.
Yeah, standing
Oh,
on the
on the
wall.
wall he did it.
He did his shitty
Because,
the Azeem the Great, or the Great, or I don't know. It was
A
terrible.
little bit of
Yeah,
Shakespearean
the-
balance
And then no,
words.
that's not true
Yeah.
either. Because when at the
It just
end when
sorta
he's
shows
the
up
when
here
he's
and
the
there.
poop guy, when he's the poop man, I'm sorry, governor. He says,
Oh, he does the
yeah,
cheese.
alms for the poor.
Yeah.
It's just if it's poor British, he can do a British accent poorly. But if it's not, then if it's rich British, he's out. So meanwhile.
Brian Blessed is in this movie for 2 seconds. That's what's happening.
And
meanwhile.
does very badly. Very poorly. He,
Ah.
yeah, he reads this letter that
Robin
his
Hood's dad.
yeah, Richard
Better
of
known
Locksley.
as the Bird King from Flash Gordon.
2 in a row on Brian Blessed.
It was the same guy?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
No,
right.
wait, I thought Little John was the guy from
No.
Flash
No.
Gordon.
Brian Blessed is the bird, the Hawkman King, whatever his name was, Voltan.
Who wants to live forever?
Yeah.
So he writes some letter that gets sent off, and I don't even remember what the hell it said because we were busy too making
He was
jokes.
like,
And to who?
have you heard from my son?
I don't think it got sent.
Yeah, because it was on his
No,
desk.
the
and
whole
he
place
signed
gets
it.
burned down.
Right.
Burninated. Well, he rides out
I think
like
he's just writing a letter so that we're not like just coming in on him just sitting there, not doing anything.
Staring at that shitty
Just-
painting of
Kevin Costner.
supposedly Robin
Is that what
Hood.
that
supposed to be?
that was a real bad painting.
See, somebody's grandma is doing all the artwork
That
for this fucking movie.
Is not an original tapestry.
Looked up
They
and
made
there's
that.
a light on it. Is that supposed to? I think that's supposed to be Robin.
It was
Hood.
obviously
Yeah.
high.
That's Costner.
More needlepoint. Somebody's grandma's like, I just love that Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, portrait of self.
And you
He
know,
hated himself.
they were like, listen, Grandma, if you'll do a Kevin Costner one, we'll put a shot of his buns in this movie. And then they duped her by putting in somebody else's crappy tan line buns.
Yeah.
She's not gonna
I wouldn't
know
say
the
crappy tan.
Those
line
aren't
buns, though.
Kevin's.
Yeah, Kevin has
I
a much
know
chunkier
Kevin's
ass. I've watched Dances with Wolves like 10 times.
Yeah, the whole scene. I don't know why they needed the scene with the father at all.
I don't
Why couldn't
either.
they just show up with him dead? Oh.
Yeah. Like,
With it
oh,
burned.
God. My
don't feel like-
father.
Well, I mean,
That's
that whole
what
thing
they
is a crapshoot because when in the .5 episode, they originally wanted Sean Connery to do that part. And he
To be
turned it down
Loxley's
because
dad.
he'd been playing too many fathers lately. And then, so maybe they're like, well, we got to get somebody. So then they get Brian Blessed, and then Connery's like, well, who am I in the movie? You're like, what the fuck, man? God damn it, put him in at the end. You're King Richard.
Whoa, spoiler.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Well, this
Spoiler
whole
alert.
episode is a spoiler, yeah. You gotta, if you don't want it spoiled.
This whole
you gotta-
movie's a spoiler.
But you know, up to this point,
If
though,
you haven't seen this movie since '91, and you're
Yeah, I
getting
mean,
spoiled now.
You're right, though. They could have, like, why that whole scene? That whole scene was pointless.
and what happened to the Ku Klux Klan that was there? That
Right.
killed his dad. Like,
What happened?
those people just
That was-
walked right off.
Who was the guy that
guy?
betrays him? That's like, I'm sorry, my lord.
He shows back up
come outside.
and becomes one of the merry men.
He does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he's a total bastard.
Yeah, but
Oh, I
then
didn't
the
know that.
blind servant, the servant who is now blinded,
Duncan.
Duncan.
Deadly as it goes.
can't identify this guy because he's like, I can't fucking see.
Which doesn't play out. He
But
doesn't
he's the
betray
comic
anybody else.
relief. Like, there's no comic relief in this movie. And
Duncan?
Kevin,
He was the comic relief for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that was
because
intentional.
Kevin Costner
Blind
had
old
tried
man's
to
not
be
supposed
funny
to be
a couple
funny.
of times.
not to most people.
I think the Hobbits
I thought
is,
Duncan was funny. I thought he was the
The
comic
Hobbits
relief.
is
Point
were-
me towards danger,
Hobbits.
sir. I'm ready to fight. I'm like, dude, you're blind.
No, you're supposed to feel bad for him.
Yeah.
You are just an asshole.
He's a faithful servant of the
Yeah,
family.
you're supposed to feel bad. And
He had
like,
his eyes burned out or sewn
He's
shut.
tried
Stabbed him in the eyes
And
or
then they
something.
sewed
and you're
him
like,
shut.
I thought he was the comic.
stupid handicapped people.
It'd be a hard role to play, keeping your eyes shut the whole time.
Maybe they just
Oh,
glued
Well,
him
it
down.
looked like they were makeup shut with some
He
red.
wasn't on screen a whole lot. Like, I
No.
think he had maybe... he was on screen for maybe 20 seconds as long as take.
Well, I am a dick. I really did think he was supposed to be the comic relief.
No.
The Hobbits were.
And Friar Tuck.
Friar
And
Tuck
Friar
was the
Tuck,
comic
yeah.
relief.
So
Yeah.
why that guy even sold out his dad in the first place? They never explained
No.
that. That doesn't make any
No.
sense.
and
I'm
why
sorry,
he
sir, I
just
had to
doesn't
do it.
go back
Why?
inside. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
No, his battle strategy is one of the worst I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
the door was left open.
Yeah,
He's
just-
like, I'd rather just run into you people.
Maybe he doesn't have one of those
Were
horses
they
that can
on
back
foot?
up.
They were on foot.
They were on foot.
He could have done a circle route.
Evasive
He did
maneuver.
he
whacked
just
through
ran
all of them.
straight
Yeah.
at...
And how
That
does
would
he
have been a
his
real
own
bad day
castle?
for those
Sheriff
guys had he not just said,
Been
"Go ahead and kill
terribly
me."
bad at combat.
How does he have his own castle if he can't fight off a couple of guys in robes?
No, he should have men. He should have men at arms.
He had
Guys
It's not like
walking
a
the parapet.
castle walls were like 40 feet tall.
Yeah, you don't
Like,
get a
you're not-
castle like that without having guys.
Right.
and some skills yourself,
And some skills yourself.
not just running
In
into.
case your guys get unruly. You gotta
Oh,
whap
and then
them.
also, like, Duncan's getting them all saddled up and he's already got the door open. And he doesn't bother to say, "Oh, the KKK's out there with a bunch of torches." By the way.
By the way.
You're like, nobody sees these guys?
Yeah.
Hey, can somebody go up on the wall and check that out
Sure
for
seems
us?
bright outside.
And
What's
then
up with that?
they never dress up like that
Maybe that's
again.
the alternate
No.
ending.
No,
Maybe
For
Duncan
the-
is like the Kaiser Sose of the movie. Maybe he was the
Ooh.
alternate. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't
Duncan.
watch till the end of the credits.
to see Frank Langella peek his head out.
He, like, just all of a sudden opens his eyes and starts, like, walking fast and gets into a carriage and winks at the camera.
He's got laser red eyes for pupils. He's from the future, actually. Robin.
Useless scene.
Robin is now back with Azeem, just them walking the English countryside. And I thought it was interesting that they stop at a tree and Robin's pulling grapes off of it that he's like, I have used these many a time to woo
Mistletoe,
women.
dude. Mistletoe.
Womb the pants
Where
off
did you
of
get
women.
grapes? Grapes don't grow on trees.
Are you sure? I didn't see hear anything about mistletoe.
It's mistletoe.
Mistletoe.
And grapes don't grow on trees.
Well, then Azeem says something about, like, I find it odd that in your country it's okay to use drugs to rape women.
The thing that I find the strangest about that scene is it's like this weird tree that looks like it shouldn't be there next to a rock wall.
Right.
Which is what happens
they're walking
in
across.
the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, yeah.
Later on, it looks a lot like that. And then no matter what was happening on screen, I was like, this is really a lot like the Shawshank Redemption right here. And I'm not sure why.
Most movies are.
Even though it doesn't happen until later.
Either way, Robin Hood's
Like
down with the
plots and
GHB is
actors
what, which is what Azeem's implying. That you got to get him
Trick him.
poisoned to
I
bang
think he was
him.
implying
Apparently,
tricking them.
So what was Azeem's
Trick 'em.
strategy?
You talk to him.
Oh, you
trick
talk to him,
Yeah,
right?
he's
Oh.
implying you have to trick them with mistletoe.
how do you trick somebody with
I don't
mistletoe?
think he was implying drugging them.
Well, how do you trick somebody with
Because you kiss
mistletoe?
them
I
underneath
think
the
you
mistletoe.
kill somebody
Do you
if
think
drug
that
them with
was?
mistletoe.
Do you
I
I
think
think
they
that that's a modern thing.
They think that that's a thing back then. I'm pointing
You
at
just
the
run
microphone.
Kevin Reynolds and
Hang
Kevin
it over
Costner.
somebody's head, and then
Yeah.
they're
There you
like,
go.
oh my gosh, you've got me.
I don't think mistletoe has been used to poison women
Well, apparently Costner can't just do it with his charming good looks. He's got to use
at his butt.
in his butt.
Well, we know, though, that from Maid Marian that he was just a little bastard that used to burn her hair.
Lied. He
Right.
can charm women with his butt. Apparently, he can't charm them before they see his butt.
That's right.
So-
he should just walk around with assless chaps on.
After butt exposure, women are jello.
So, is he running around Jerusalem kissing ladies with mistletoe because he left when he was a child, right?
That's right.
But
He
he
did.
is a 40-year-old man. Really.
He is a 40-year-old man.
The timetable doesn't work out.
No, nothing makes sense in this movie, so...
Well, it would work out if they didn't hire an actor that obviously looked 40.
Oh yeah. So he was 37 at the time of this movie.
Ah,
The average age was 30 in England. Oh, he was a miser by that.
Miser.
yeah, he's an old
Yeah.
fart.
He's like Duncan.
Yeah.
Dudley. Duncan?
Yeah, Duncan.
Duncan.
Yeah, when he's sitting
Duncan
with the
do
trailer,
right.
like, follow me. You're like, who's the fucking old guy?
They actually may have been the same age. Just Kevin Cutter, Robin Hood looked better for his age.
He was out of the sun for a long time, for
Yeah.
5 years.
That's what the English sun will do to you.
Being in a dungeon does
The no
wonders
sun.
for your skin.
Right.
So, a kid shows up, getting chased by men that have dogs and horses and swords and crossbows. And the kid is faster than all of them. Mm-hmm. And he...
Even though they're on horses.
Yes.
Well, they only released a dog the
And
last...
dogs.
They're like, oh, he's going to get in that
Crossbows.
tree. We better let the dogs out.
Yeah.
So he climbs up a tree that Kevin Costner just happened to be standing next to. And he's... ends up being the son of Little John down the road, but he's a little shit.
He's a little shit.
He's a deer-murdering son of a bitch. Because everybody's
You never
hungry,
see a deer in this
but he's
movie.
killing
No.
hundreds of deer.
Hundreds.
Hundreds of deer. And apparently just running away, like, I'm not
With a
bringing that
knife,
out.
because he doesn't know how to shoot a bow until Robin Hood teaches him.
That's a good point.
That is a really good point.
This little son of a bitch can run faster than most quadrupeds and kill deer with knives.
That's right.
He probably doesn't need Robin Hood's help with anything.
No. The English countryside is just littered with the chewed on corpses of deer from this little bastard. It's like a gremlin. So they save his ass.
He's a problem child.
And so I want to make some points throughout the whole bit of this movie is that from the moment Robin arrives on the English shore, he is a problem for the Sheriff of Nottingham. Like, the Sheriff of Nottingham instantly knows, oh, God, we've got to stop that Robin Hood son of a bitch. Even though Robin Hood's really not doing anything up till about halfway through the movie that would affect anybody that's in a position like the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Like, if the Sheriff of Nottingham wouldn't have killed his father, and he just came back and showed up, and his dad would have been like, you know what? Shit really sucks around here. And the sheriff's an asshole, and then he probably would have been like, but if we play ball, he's going to leave us alone.
Right. Right. No, he makes the whole movie happen by being an idiot.
But that like implies so Robin Hood doesn't really have any time. I mean, he's aristocracy or whatever, you know. But that would imply that everybody else is not there. Like he's the last
of any duke or earl,
Right.
duke or lord or baron.
Duke of Earl.
Or I was about to say Duke or Earl.
Any sort of like position, like power position, he's like the last one. And
Yeah.
so he's the threat.
And what is he exactly?
I thought he just said he was a nobleman, which is pretty low on the
Did they say
aristocratic
Baron of
totem pole.
Did they say his name was the Baron of Locksley?
I thought he was the Lord of Locksley.
Just
Well,
the Lord
if
of
his dad
Locksley.
is dead, then
that's
he
not
would
much.
That's, well, but...
Right.
I mean,
But what's a lord?
sure, it was burnt down.
be. Usually the people
Still
that shake
pretty
hands for
big.
money.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he shoots a guy in the face. Is about what he does.
Well, he shoots the bow. This is the part where I took the most. So he shoots the guy with the bow, throws it away. It magically comes back to his hand. Shoots another bow, throws the bow at another guy,
Hits
breaks
the
his
guy.
nose.
breaks his nose.
Right. And then they fuck off. And then he tackles the Michael Wincott guy, who is
Fisheye
the
guy.
cousin of, fisheye lens man, who has the power of only being on film with a fisheye lens.
Yeah.
And
Makes him look more evil.
I guess, or it just makes him look like he's got a really big snoot.
Or a 90s music video.
Yeah.
Cinematography by P. Diddy.
So the Michael Wincott sequences were directed by McG. But only those ones.
Only those ones.
We need a ringer on these scenes.
We need some bikini girls dancing behind you. Oh, and you need to be throwing cash everywhere.
Everywhere.
To make it more colorful.
We need you in a red jumpsuit. So really, here's what happens. He pisses some guys off, basically, and kills one guy at least. He gets.
I think he
arrows
kills
one
two
guy.
guys.
You think he kills two
He-
guys right
he
there?
He
arrows-
shot the arrow.
He shot 2 arrows out of crossbows. I assume them to have killed both of those men that they hit.
All right, so 2 guys. So here's what I would infer would actually happen. The Michael Wincott guy would go back to the castle and be like, "Hey, Sheriff of Nottingham, we had some guy show up and attack us, and he killed a couple guys. He looked like a peasant farmer type guy.
Robin.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. That must be Robin Hood, and
Well, he
now
asked
he's
him
going
what
to
his
get
name
problems."
was.
Said
Oh, I
who
understand,
he
but
is.
who's that? Oh, some guys up north causing problems is what it is. Not Robin Hood. He's going to be a problem. I should do all of these things to kill this guy.
well,
Just
they
like,
spent the time
okay,
to kill his dad. They'd spend the time
send
to
some
kill him.
guys out there.
Yeah, because they were
Try
taking
to
his
arrest
land.
him. We'll bring him back in and have a trial and go from there.
If they killed his dad, they're going to kill him. Like, why would you waste the dad and not kill the dad's heirs?
Yeah, because they
Yes.
assumed that he was dead, right? And now that he's back, he has claim to all the land, and the sheriff of Nottingham had already taken over this land.
All right, well, send some guys out and kill him. Just send some guys out, find him, and kill him, and then move
Well,
us
that's
over.
easier
That's
than
what
being
they tried
like,
to do.
I don't remember that.
He said that.
And they don't.
Yeah, they somehow managed to conveniently run into him at Maid Marian's
Oh,
ranch.
house.
Oh, that's true.
And then she's a bitch and throws him under the bus.
Yeah,
He's-
but
Right.
before that,
'Cause
he goes
to her house next.
No, he goes to his own house and then sees it's all fucked up and
Right,
Duncan,
okay,
and then does
that's
the
true.
thing where he's like, "Ah!" And then he grabs Morgan Freeman, like Morgan Freeman is his fucking mom, and just like
Soft.
buries his head into his bosom for like a second and a half, and then is okay.
I think even Morgan Freeman was uncomfortable with that.
He
scene.
did. It didn't look like his face is like, what the fuck
what
is
are you
going
doing?
on here?
He's like, get off of me.
That wasn't planned.
I don't even like you.
I owe you my life, not my body.
So then he starts yelling at Duncan.
Duncan.
Why didn't you cut
Why
him
don't you
down?
do anything?
Because I'm blind, sir.
And at this
And
point,
I
I'm
was a
laughing. 'cause
shitty
I'm like,
butler to
finally
begin
comic
with.
relief.
Yeah. And where did he couldn't have been in the castle the entire time. He would have burned up.
He would have
He would
burned
have had to
up.
run away.
Or starve, right? How is he
Yeah.
supposed
Or
to forage
starve.
He
food?
would have had to run away in the
Uh-huh.
woods and forage for food blind.
Right.
And then
Well,
come back.
Wait for the castle to stop burning.
Yeah.
So
then hide
There's a
out
lot of
in
trial
the
and error
bathroom.
there when you're first searching for
The
food when
whole
you're blind.
Bumping
Are you
into
saying that-
Or going back to the castle while it's still burning. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
it's still burning.
Hot.
Going away.
The whole castle thing seems precarious because it seems like it's been burnt down for a while.
A while.
A while.
And then it seems like, because his dad is up in the crow's cage, and he isn't stabbed or burned, he's just
A skeleton.
died.
It's kind of a
No, he's just
grody
like
skeleton.
he's decomposing.
Right.
So he's died of starvation or thirst, and then has rotted.
You don't think
For
that
a
he
while.
got stabbed by the
Why put him?
KKK
Why put him
guys?
up there?
Right.
Decor?
As a
Oh,
warning.
you just hang him up.
Statement?
No, you put a head on the stake.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you're
yeah,
gonna kill
true.
him, they killed him by putting him in that thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that took a month.
Like
Yeah.
Mad Mortigan.
And so, what was Duncan doing for a month?
Trying to find a place to crap. I'm telling you.
He was listening to
Sir,
the
have you
woes
seen
of
the
his...
toilet? The toilet Duncan!
Yeah. Lord of Loxley's up there in the cage going, Duncan, help! And Duncan's just bumping
Actually-
into trees out of the forest.
That would be great.
other way.
It was
Grab
the
the
worst
rope,
game of Marco Polo that had ever been played. Marco! Oh no! Marco! Oh
It's so stupid.
Your other leg.
no! He didn't stab you in the fucking ears! Marco!
So, anyways, he has to now go find Maid Marian because he doesn't have a house and he's supposed to protect her because of Immediate Pete's promise. So he goes to her house.
And he has the poop ring.
He
He's
has
supposed
the
to give
poop
away.
ring, but he's not allowed in, really, at first.
Not
I
at
don't
all.
know why. And
They don't trust anybody.
they don't
Because
trust
she used to-
anybody.
used to burn
But then
her
all
down.
of it, they just
Yeah.
change their mind and let him in. Like,
Well, they
you're not
let him
allowed in, and then they come back.
by
Okay, you
himself.
can come in.
Like they came
Without
up with
any
that
weapons.
plan in 3 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready. We've got a ruse.
Actually, that's their. I think that's their general plan. Is that they figure that Maid Marian can dress up like a ninja and take one guy
Right.
if he
So-
doesn't have any weapons.
Well, she
Right.
seemed surprised when when he took the mask off and she saw who he was. It's like, who have you been fighting?
Maybe
Yeah, he's not wearing a mask. You are.
Yeah.
Did you just not see shit in that thing?
Right. Oh, it's you.
You know how they had, like, the whipping boys back in the day for the princes, and if the prince got in trouble, you bring the whipping boy in and he would get spanked because you can't lay your hands on the prince? Maybe Sarah is Maid Marian's raping girl.
Whoa.
Like, oh, the rapists are back. Time to get raped, Sarah. Go put on your Maid Marian costume and pretend you're me, because they're gonna rape you again. And I'm gonna hide out as the ninja, and hopefully it's just one guy and I can take him. But usually it's the whole goddamn army. So, I don't understand what the Maid Marian ruse is.
Here.
So are there-
Don't object.
Right, you have to do this.
Are there 3 women in that castle? Because there's a lady that answers the door.
Opens the door, right?
Yeah.
Then there was the
Sarah.
And then there was so there's 3 women in this
At
suite.
least.
Oh, and then there's wait. She said she was helping some villagers. And they were milling around in her castle.
There was a couple millers.
Yeah, there's people
Yeah,
milling
I
around.
don't know. I
She
thought
was
that-
taking care of the people in the east or whatever.
I think the
'Cause she's
jackass
the cousin
that kills
of King Richard.
the one jackass that was the traitor that kills Lord Loxley. He's mulling around in there too.
Ah.
So that guy's just a real
Just
dickhead.
wandering from place to place looking at...
waiting for opportunities of betrayal.
Yeah.
If they're helping out the impoverished people in the countryside, then why would they be so stingy at the door?
Yeah, no shit. Like,
Yeah, because they answer the door and they're like, no more beggars.
because he had a black guy
It was
with him.
soliciting.
He had
Yeah.
a black guy with him, and you just don't let
she
that.
was very
Yeah,
racist, actually.
Yeah,
The
super
door
racist.
lady was very
Everybody's super racist.
Oh, for sure.
Except for Kevin Costner.
Well, and then Duncan's
Right.
reaction when he told him that he was a Moor, and he's like,
Oh,
that was
shit,
actually one of my
black
favorite
guy.
scenes.
Yeah, because he's sitting there talking about the Moors and how awful black people are and how Robin Hood would have never left if it hadn't been for those fucking heathens. And then he's like, so what are you? Islam? Irish? Scottish? And he's like, Moorish.
Creeps. Robin Hood, though, speaking of the racism
And that's
about
another
this
part
movie,
where I thought comic relief.
Yeah.
That was actually comic relief.
That was.
is it just me, or is there a whole, like, Robin Luther King thing going on in this movie? Because he's making statements about society and people, and, like, he's getting on a soapbox every now and then and talking about equality and sexes.
which there was no
and
concept of that in the 12th century.
No, not at all.
concept.
Not at all.
Freedom?
Like-
equality? Are you serious?
No,
That
nobody
shit didn't
believes
happen.
in that shit.
No.
Not back then.
And what wasn't
Well,
even,
really, then
wasn't
you don't even
thing.
have the
It wasn't, yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, but it's not
Back
a
then,
thing.
you've got the Celts living up north, you've got you guys, and then you've got the French, and that's your area of exposure to other cultures, really.
And the Irish.
Well, who cares about them?
They make great potatoes.
For a while.
Too soon.
Too soon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he just kept like sitting on stuff and talking about how great everybody was, and it was like, oh boy, Robin Luther King. But so, anyways, moving on.
They steal.
there's the
They
base-
quote
The
unquote.
OG Martin Luther.
Yeah, OG Martin
Yeah.
Luther.
So they steal horses, sort of, and then make off to the forest.
So did they know
Right,
that
they
they
get
were
chased
going there?
into Sherwood.
Why were they there? Did they know that they were going to Marian's house?
He
Yeah.
was saying that they were going to get safe haven there,
Right.
but then right after they get there, the Michael Wincott shows back up with the dudes.
Nobody
and
mentioned
Because
the
it's
they
probably,
leave.
glass.
it's probably a coincidence. It's probably
Oh,
just
that's true.
rape 30 at that point.
Let me use my good eye moment with the spyglass.
Oh, the spyglass.
It was so stupid. So dumb.
It is dumb.
Like, it really pisses me off when people think other human beings are stupid to things they've never seen before. Like, that we have no ability to, you have to tell somebody that it's not magic for them to go, oh, that's neat. I never knew about those.
Don't lie, Justin. When I brought you your first electric toothbrush, you were like, "It's magic!
Oh,
It's got a battery and it moves on its own."
there's a demon living
Are
inside.
you sure it's okay to use?
Demon toothbrush. Are there gremlins in there churning it? Yes,
What's next?
that's every time Jackie goes to Walmart. Every time she comes back with some demon machine. I have to exercise it.
If you're gonna get a demon machine, Walmart is the place to go.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's always cheaper because they match the best prices.
The Miss Demon Machine prices.
Yeah.
So Robin's on his way to Sherwood Forest getting chased, and then the bad guys chasing him won't go in there again. But he goes in there, and it looks like a pretty nice place.
It does, actually.
Like, Azeem's like, I have never, in all of my travels, I have never seen such a place.
Yeah, the running water.
Why
He
does
was really
nobody go there?
impressed.
Why does
because
nobody go there?
there's the
Because
wind
they're
chimes.
Legends?
Wind chimes.
Yeah, there's wind chimes in the trees. Scare shit out of people.
Yeah.
There's
Sounds like
ghosts
ghosties.
and,
And
stuff,
then
and it's haunted.
You
Like,
get the shit robbed out of you.
Not at first.
They were still robbing people, I think.
I think they were just killing deer.
Like
Remember?
that,
Because they tried
like
to pay,
that.
they made him pay tax.
Oh, that's true.
And then by the end of the movie,
Maybe
it
they're
was,
just
could
charging
you
a
make
toll.
a donation? They're so much politer at that point. Instead of, you must pay tax to cross this river. It's like, welcome to Sherwood Forest. Would you like to make a donation?
Well, they
with
made it
this?
seem
turned
like
it
that
into
was
an
a
amusement park.
thoroughfare.
That's right.
Yeah, that is the thoroughfare. If you walk across there without paying the toll, you get tripped by a rope. Because this is the
Conveniently.
only place in
And
the river
actually,
that
that's
you can
not
cross.
even the worst part. The worst part is you're greeted by a singing Christian Slater,
Ugh.
Oh.
who sucks.
I will pay your toll. Just stop
Don't,
it.
okay, trip
Can
me,
you shut that guy
whatever, just get him to stop singing.
Well, they made some ridiculous comment about being able to cross the river, like looking for a place to cross the river, but there was rocks all the way
And
across the
everywhere.
river,
About
and it was
a
about
foot
a foot and
deep.
a half deep. Yeah,
Yeah.
At no point
Like,
did that river ever look
cross anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Maybe this is because we're in Idaho, and maybe the people that made this film were like, rivers are scary at 3 feet deep. You know?
He was walking around like poking the water with a sword, like he didn't
Just in
trust
case
his
there's
own eyes.
quicksand
Like,
down there.
this stuff's
Quicksand.
always a lot deeper than it looks.
Checking for water moccasins.
Yeah.
So,
So the one rope that's strung across the river trips him.
right.
Is there
Conveniently.
ropes all the way down? I don't think there's
I
ropes all the way
mean,
down.
With guys in spots where they can pull them
Right.
instantly, just waiting for people
Like
to
the
knock
last
in there.
8 people that came through there used a different spot, and they're like, God damn it.
Oh, shit. Every time.
Every time. Just go run over and club them.
Do you think we should move the rope? No, we're
No,
Let's
this
keep
is the
it
best
here.
spot.
No, they move it, and then the guy goes to the other spot.
And
The
you're
next,
like, God
oh,
damn it,
shit.
that's why we were just over there.
I think you'd want to save your rope maneuver for, like, why don't you just yell across the river, pay your tax? Why trip them before?
Yeah. Pay
Say-
the tax before you even try, and if they try, then
you trip them.
just run up to them with a sword and stab them, and then take their money.
Yeah, it seems weird that
The rope is stupid.
Yeah, the rope is stupid.
It's a terrible, terrible use of your time and your booby traps. So he then has to get in a fight with Little John.
It
One-on-one
was a yellow
matchup.
nylon rope, too. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I did.
I did.
Really?
It was a
It
tow
was
rope.
like, yeah.
It was a tow rope for a truck.
Oh.
Well, he gets in a fight with Little John, like a challenge. And really, honestly, Little John beats the shit out of
For
it.
sure.
Kinda. They both stink.
No, they both stink.
Little
Robin
John
goes
was-
down 4 times.
Yeah, he does.
He
He
goes
does.
into the water and falls over the waterfall.
And
the
he
only
looks
reason
at
he
his
beats
Azeem
him,
and he's like,
help me.
help me. And he's like,
It seems like
I suggest you move faster.
Oh, thanks.
Fuck you,
Get
buddy.
up, move faster. And he's like, God,
The
when are
only
you going
way-
to fucking save my life, you
Well,
dick?
he ended up on the other side of the river.
Sidekick.
Well, at
He
the
is
same
Mary.
time, he seems to be very reticent of when his life is actually in danger. Like, he's not going to kill you, he's going to beat the crap out of you, so I'm just going to go ahead and let that happen.
But
And
he's
how did
just
he get to the other side of
worthless.
the river?
Like,
Azeem ends up,
He does on the other side of the river. You're absolutely right.
but just magically, he didn't get tripped by a rope or
Well,
hassled.
everybody's paying attention to what other shit's going on, and he's like, I'll just go over here.
Quick.
that'd be a good strategy. Piggyback on somebody across the river. Go over this.
Yeah.
Go around you.
We had to get Duncan across, and that wasn't going to be very easy. So why wait for everything to play out? You kind of know where it's going already, so you got to get a little bit of a head start on the game.
When it comes to rivers, use Duncan as a flotation device. Hold still, Duncan. I'm going to row across with you.
Yes, sir.
And then the river water is this, like, they're downstream from, like, a paper factory sewage.
It's just the dirtiest, gross,
Ew.
nastiest.
It looked like
It looked like-
pee or
yeah,
something.
It looked
yeah.
like pee
bad
and
color.
poo that they're in. But Robin only wins because he uses the quarterstaff to club Little John right in the balls.
In the Little John.
In Little John. And you're supposed to be like, oh, Robin can fight. No, he gets his butt whipped.
Yeah.
But Little John can't swim.
Well, he...
No, he can't or stand. Apparently,
No.
because he knows the forest so well that he doesn't know that this entire river right in that spot you can stand in.
Which is one of the better jokes in Men in Tights, was... Because it was so stupid in this movie.
Yeah.
To take it that much further where he's in like 3 inches of water. Because he may as well have been in
Right.
3 inches of water.
Yeah.
Because he stands up and it's up to his goddamn knees.
Yeah.
Like, how did you not, like there's
his
no
ass,
way
like
to
his ass
lay-
wasn't on the
there's-
rocks.
Exactly.
No, I don't think Mel Brooks had to work very hard on that movie. I think it was all already there. Like, oh, we'll just take the same script and add these actors in it, and it's gonna be silly. I kind of tuned out for a little while right here. Does anybody want to tell me what happens after that? Oh, he just hangs out with them.
Yeah.
He's now just hanging out,
Hanging in
talking,
trees.
and he instantly wants to lead them against.
But nobody wants to follow him until
And you have Moody Christian Slater.
they have the,
Yeah.
the goat destruction cam.
The grow discussion camp.
They go and they burn down one of the villages, and then everybody has to go into the forest. And they're like, yeah, you fucked up our whole life. We'll follow you.
Right, so...
But he gives a motivational speech. He hops up on that tree like a young scribe.
But then Azeem is like, I'm out. Like, these guys are after you. Peace out, buddy.
let me
This is on
understand
you.
Yeah.
the motivation here. So, Robin has still only killed the two guys and then got away on the horses into Sherwood and can't be captured. That's what he's done to the sheriff of Nottingham at this point. So the sheriff's plan to capture Robin Hood is to start burning all the villages.
Yes.
How does that work exactly? Like it's like terrorism. Like
hitting
Robin's just gonna
well,
come out
he
and be
puts
like,
a price on his head,
okay,
and so like the people that one guy's gonna be like, you know what, I can turn this guy in and build back my hut,
And buy my goat.
Yeah.
buy my goat.
get that goat cam back.
But then, they show him, like, randomly robbing the rich, too. And turns out that he's taken $3-4 million.
That's
Yeah.
not even. That doesn't even happen yet.
3 or 4
This is just like
million
he has
gold
to
coins.
actually.
That's how
I'm
much
just
they
skimming
collect.
over all that shit that wasn't
Oh, the
important.
montage.
Oh yeah, they have to have a training montage. I got some.
So, and then the
With
freedom
some
bullshit.
metal.
So,
Right.
All the
From the
villagers come to the
forest.
The
forest.
forest will provide everything you need for this war,
Right.
including ore.
including ore, chickens, rope, and montages. Is what I wrote down.
Swords.
And mannequins made out of potato sacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got to have training dummies.
But Sean's point is the freedom speech.
Like where you're never free. We already touched on that. But,
Right.
But
He
what's gonna
stands on the
happen-
log and to motivate them
Yeah.
into the montage.
Yeah, into the montage. But what's going to happen when Richard gets back? They're like, "Oh, freedom.
Yep.
Done. Give it
work
back.
for
Give
us.
it back."
Yep.
You're still working in the
You,
fields.
you
Yeah.
have a king.
To
You
the salt mines.
King of the Who.
do not live in a democracy.
Nope.
Right.
Into the who.
There's a good bit of filth over there.
So now they're trained up and motivated. They've learned. Azeem taught them how to fight with swords, with sticks at least. Robin Hood has taught them how to use bows, and
But
they build the fortress, the tree
yeah.
fortress.
yeah.
The
But they
Ewok
at no point
village.
thought that anybody would ever burn it.
But Sherwood Forest is haunted. Everybody assumes and thinks that Sherwood Forest is haunted.
Right.
But the only people that they're robbing are traveling through Sherwood
Through
Forest.
Sherwood Forest, that
Right.
is correct.
So
What?
apparently it's not haunted, or these other guys.
Nobody
are just-
cares.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, why don't people go in? It seems like everybody's going in there. It seems like it's a nice place. You walk in and go, I don't see any spooky ghosts. I'm going to keep going.
But they made it seem like it was kind of a thoroughfare.
It's the only way to London.
But still, it's a haunted
I don't think they
place.
say that at any point in the movie.
That everybody has to go through Sherwood to get to somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to jump to my favorite character in this, and that's the sheriff. And all I have 2 notes: plate stabbing and call off Christmas. And I don't know exactly when these occurred.
I don't either.
It's like around the montage-y scene.
Yeah, well,
he gets frustrated and stabs that plate of meat.
And I have...
Like he was like
foiled.
doing that thing, you know, when you put your hand down on the table and then you put the knife in between your fingers, but he was just stabbing at the...
What's that called? Mark, you work in the military. What's that called?
Bullshit.
That's called bullshit?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't think it's called... If it's called something, then I don't know
where you
what
knife
it is.
around your own fingers.
The military at all? I don't know.
Because it was an Alien 2.
Yeah.
And then every time I see it in a movie, it's because a guy wearing camouflage is doing it.
Oh.
Well, in this case,
Not
it's the
for
crazy sheriff of Nottingham.
But he's just stabbing some... And I never really can
Stabbing a
figure
plate of
out
pork.
whether
or not that's her
It's 5-finger roulette.
or if it's like magic sacrifice shit. Because when he goes
It
up
looked like
and
a roasted chicken.
Well, yeah, it looks like he
looks
went
like
and
dinner.
stabbed her dinner
Yeah.
and
It looks like dinner.
then left.
Right.
I don't know. I was pretty excited, though, that he had a life-size statue of himself built.
Oh,
Yeah.
It doesn't look like him at all.
I thought
And then after he gets cut in the face by Robin Hood, somebody vandalizes that statue to make it have a cut, too, on his face. And he's all pissed off about it. He's like, somebody used my fucking...
Is that when he says call off Christmas?
Yeah.
No, that's when he decides that she needs to show up at 10:30. She needs to show up at 10:45
and to bring
a friend.
He can bang 3 women.
He's so angry
in
that
30
he has
minutes.
to bang 3, and he's got a long night ahead of him. Apparently, they're not even going to start showing up till 10:30, which
And
is way
call
past
off
dark.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of candle burning.
I don't remember what
You don't need
happens that he decides to call off Christmas. I think that's when. The guy's telling him that
he's taking
no
$3 or
one's
$4
gonna
million.
turn in Robin Hood for any amount of cash because they like him too much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I just like that.
And then he cancels Christmas.
But that's
move.
that's where we find out how much money they were actually
2 or 3
raking
million,
in.
which is
3 or 4.
3
I
or
wrote it down.
4.
Gold coins, not just dollars or pounds. Gold coins.
So he's stolen all of the money in England
That's the entire treasury.
twice over.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he stole it and then doubled it.
Good stock exchange powers.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to make it relevant to
That's
early
Will Scarlet.
90s.
That's
and
why
what
Will
would be-
Scarlet isn't in a lot of that sequence because he's actually the stockbroker.
But if you were like,
He's
He's
back
out
there
there making-
making,
trying to
he's
make
got
it
one of those
true to it.
clear hats on and a calculator just banging on it with a cigarette.
an abacus made of coconuts.
but if you tried to do it realistic and you're like, we're only bringing in 400 gold pieces a month, you're like, that doesn't have any relevance.
Yeah, well, like, wow, that's...
Doing pretty good, Robin. What are you fucking doing?
They could have to look at the camera. Remember, this is the 12th century.
So
Yeah.
it's some...
They would have to put that part in.
Speaking of the Robins, Friar Tuck shows up, finally.
Oh, yeah.
And he's on a trailer filled with buckets and barrels of booze that they're transporting, that he's just drinking. Like, he's like the drug dealer that smokes his own shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put that guy in charge of things. But, so they kidnap him, or free him, however you want to say
He gets
it.
knocked out in
They
the wagon, and they just kind
commandeer
of take
him.
the wagon.
Commandeer him.
Yeah.
But they get to have him, and he can pull a trailer that before required 3 horses to pull. They latch him on as the horse, and he pulls the trailer across Sherwood
I think
Forest.
that you with Friar Tuck, you get one of the last Hollywood instances that had been going on since the 30s of big equals strong.
Yes.
That finally started to go away, but that was one of the later instances of big equals strong.
Because that
So,
man in real life would have a heart attack.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
wouldn't
would
be
be
able
dead.
to pull
Yeah.
that thing 10
he would be
feet.
dead. Yeah.
At least
you couldn't even
beer.
start pulling it.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But it was his punishment for being insubordinate.
So my next favorite thing, though, about the Friar Tuck, though, is when he confronts the priest, or the Pope, or whoever that guy was supposed to be.
At the very end, you
Yeah.
jump across
You're
the
skipping
entire
across
movie.
the entire movie.
Some of it's just not worth talking about.
Well, we're going to have to go back and talk about
You only
it.
took so
go
many
ahead.
notes and you're ready to talk about one.
I took 3 notes, goddammit! I'm on my 4th sentence here.
I need to talk about this
The
stuff.
end.
We are at 54 minutes.
That's fine. Go ahead.
But then, he's like, oh no, and the priest guy's like, oh, you wouldn't hit a man of the cloth, and Friar Tuck's like, no, you're right, I wouldn't. In fact, here, let me help you pack. And then he like throws 30 pieces, like, and here's 30 pieces of silver to pay for your trip to hell. And then he pushes him out the window.
So you just thought that part was awesome?
Well, I thought, how does he know how much it costs
like.
to go to hell? 30 silver pieces? I think that's pretty cheap. Really.
How did he know there was 30 pieces of silver in there?
He says it specifically.
Oh.
And I will tell you why that happens. It's because that is the price that Judas was paid to betray Jesus.
Oh.
How do you guys not know that?
What?
Mark and I are smart.
Either way,
How
the
did
real
you not
tragedy
know
of that sequence is he should have pushed him out a different window because he fell out of one of the only window where there's really no villagers down there. So there's 4 guys that get all that gold.
That's true.
So they make out like a bandit.
They get
everybody else
3 to 4 million gold coins.
Yeah, that's some good cash.
Well, at least
right there.
30 silver pieces.
At
Yeah.
least.
So, right in that Friar Tuck showing up part,
That's that's post when Alan Rickman pulls his end game and is marry me or I'll kill these children.
no, that's way before it because
before.
the
Marry
next
me or I'll
note
kill
I
these children
have
is way
is that
before. Is what I was
Marian
saying.
loves butts is the next note I have after Friar Tuck and pull a trailer that requires horses.
Yeah.
So we get
10 lines is what I have.
glimpse of is that what it was? Glimpse of
I have it
Robin.
written down. Glimpse of Robin.
The glimpse of Robin was
That's the chapter title.
If you
need to
go
skip
to
there.
the chapter on the DVD, it's Glimpse of Robin, and it's the Robin's ass scene. So, glimpse. Ooh, she's got a glimpse of Robin. But she totally creeps out, too.
She's
like,
creepy.
I love butts.
Yeah, she's creepy.
That was the strangest part of that whole scene was
Yeah.
her face. Like, nobody loves butts that much.
No.
Especially from that far away. And
She's probably thinking, how can I get this butt on my weird-ass hair so I can wear it like a hat?
Because her hair kind of looked like a butt.
Her hair
is
looked
terrible.
like pubic
She
hair
didn't
out
have
of
butt hair.
control.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the shape of it kind of looked like
It was butt shape.
cheeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Butt-esque. Butt-esque hair.
If we should rewatch it and see how many butt symbols. I bet there's a lot.
Ooh. Have a beer for every butt you see.
Or butt symbol.
Butt-esque.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Don't
So,
look.
so they spent a large part of the middle of this movie in Sherwood Forest, just doing nothing.
Doing nothing. She's
it's
coming and
just
going
there.
whenever she
Yeah.
fucking wants.
Yeah, and they're
The
doing the
merriment.
thing. Yeah, they're
They're
doing
the
marry.
They
They're
are the merrymen, that's
dancing.
true.
I like all the mechanical bullshit that they have there that just really.
The well that
So
they
not
dug.
only he's the savior of these people, but my God, what a fine
He's also
engineer.
Da Vinci.
Well, they
Yeah.
don't have
Well,
any
it
of
would have
that
to
in
be-
their huts, so the Sherwood Forest is by far better than their hut that they had because
Right.
they have all these.
They've got running water.
Yeah.
And
Why do
what
they
was
fight
the
with
other
their
super
huts?
awesome invention? Oh, elevators. They've
Yeah,
got
they had
elevators.
rope elevators, and then they had I don't know, they didn't show where the water elevator was taking the water to.
I'm assuming that's just inferring that it's running water at that
Just
point.
running water.
Yeah, you can piss in that stream and it'll take it away for you.
Wow, that's a pretty big jump there.
But do
I
it
was
after,
thinking
do
that's
it
probably
after
their
Glenn's
water.
house so he doesn't
It's
have to
better
drink
than
the piss.
pissing in your house, which is what Duncan's looking for the entire time. He hears running water, he's trying to find the running water so he can just take that crap.
But it's a little bit so the whole idea of Sherwood Forest was supposed to be this free paradise.
It
where
looks
people
like a
can
great
live.
time.
It's an
It does look
Ewok
like a
village.
Great time. Yeah, an Ewok village.
2 in a row,
But
because
then
an
you
Ewok
have,
village
but
in
then you
Flash
have
Gordon.
Robin Hood being the leader and kind of running the whole show.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a little ironic that
That it's a dictatorship within a dictatorship.
Yeah,
Right.
a little bit.
And he's fighting for freedom that
Right.
doesn't exist.
And
You
he's leading
know, the same
people that
thing
just
happened to
don't
fucking
know.
Castro.
Oh my god.
Perfect. Yes. Robin Hood is Castro.
JFK is Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
I'm pushing the button. I'm fucking pushing that button. Shit. How
Remember
would
that
Alan
fussy
Rickman
guy at
say
the
it?
end of at the wedding that was just there being fussy? That was Nikita Khrushchev.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? You're a crazy
control
asshole.
of this
Who were the
situation.
fuzzy people at the? That was a random input. Is that supposed to be like the King of the Kings?
I don't
The
know. It was
council?
like
Maybe
somebody
the
else that was
aristocracy.
going to be. Yeah, it was like somebody that was on his side against the king, is what you're supposed to assume, I think. But
Well, after all of the merriment, finally, Robin's apparently had enough of Duncan bumping into things and looking for a place to crap, because he just pawns him off. Like, Duncan, you'll be safer someplace else at Maid Marian's castle, which is just right inside the enemy's ring of
to the doom
of
everyone.
Yeah, to the doom of everyone. It's the worst plan ever. Nice and safe here. You can keep him just bumping into things inside of a room. Just be like, here, Duncan, entertain yourself inside of one of this cabin. Just bump for hours on end. He's safe. He's not going to hurt anybody. But then he's like, get the fuck out of here, Duncan. I've had enough.
They got rid of him. He got rid of him because he had to share. There's that scene where he's sitting up and Duncan's laying behind him. They were rooming together.
Yeah. He's needing some space.
And then what's sad is that
once Marian,
wait a second. Before she was there, and he knew that he liked her, he had to pull these Marian hate jacks.
Right.
And then Duncan would just show up in the middle of him. He's like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "Nothing. Go away."
He's turning it from a bro pad into a stabbing cabin.
Absolutely. It's like, I gotta get this guy out of here. Cramping my style.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention that the first scene that we see Maid Marian back in her castle, right? And you hear some fucking idiot in the background bumping shit over, knocking shit over, and she's like, Duncan? Duncan, is that you?
Is that you, Duncan? Bumping into everything again? And then she gets stolen, so she's not... It's the least safe place ever. Because the next scene... She gets stolen and Duncan's back out to not being safe. He's back combing through the woods trying to find his way back to someplace.
Yeah, the horse has to get him back there.
So how come blind Duncan can find where their camp out
is? The horse finds it.
The horse finds it, but yet nobody
else can
find it.
And obviously Maid Marian and Sarah can take over the entire base.
It gets to my quibble, well, not really quibble, but this village is so awesome, but then their security is I'm going to stand at the very edge of the village, the very edge. They're not even away over the top of the hill that's right next to it. Oh shit. We should have thought to put somebody on that hill, because all the bad guys were just standing on the other side of it this whole time.
And they put the Sea Squad out there.
Yeah, the guys that don't know their left from right.
Who warns you by shooting arrows right next to you.
Yeah.
3 of them. Okay.
We got it.
I really want to touch on, because we keep talking about the Merry Men. And we all thought the same thing. You watch this movie now, in today's world, and all you can think of, oh my god, all the Merry Men are hobbits.
Hobbits,
they all look like fucking hobbits.
And a bunch of the Scottish fighters that they brought in to wipe out the Merry Men's village, they all look like a bunch of hobbits too, with blue paint on their face.
Yeah, they're all little people.
Yeah, everybody's small and got big hands and hairy feet. It's really weird. So they stick 2 jackass hobbitses out as the first line of defense, and they don't even know what to do, because they're like, you get the guy on the left, I'll take the guy on the right, which is left and which is right. So now these horse people are up to them, and it just happens to be Maid Marian and Sarah. So thank God that happened, and they weren't actual guys. But then later, when he does get the Celts, and they attack, they don't have a fucking battle plan. No. The battle plan is, everybody run up into the trees, and then Robin's like, I will be the first line of defense with 3 arrows.
Right. Well, he had a whole quiver of arrows, but he felt that it was necessary to put the arrows in the ground.
3 of them in the ground.
Because it's faster to, yank them out of the ground than it is your quiver. Yeah, I'm going to dole
this tip before I shoot it again.
You're right. They really made the assumption that no one was ever going to...
Nobody. And so, no battle plan at all. Just get out into the trees. But then it's yay, we won the day because we're really good shooters of arrows. The English fucking army, longbowmen, are the best arrow people of all time.
Flaming arrows.
Nobody has ever been better with bows than an English bowman. What do you think's going to happen?
Actually,
they're going to light
the
the fucking
Mongols
village.
were better, but that's okay.
Well, they never got in a confrontation.
Yeah, they did.
When
the Mongols took over the fucking world.
Oh, that's right.
That happened.
Oh yeah.
Well,
they used to hit people at a dead sprint on a horse.
These weren't those.
In
men.
comparison to the other people around that time in that specific area, yeah, they were better.
Well, so why not start the battle with the flame arrows?
I don't know.
General guy?
I think they wanted to kill the guy.
Well, I think they were saving the flame. It's sort of like, you just kind of... You save the money, they get robbed. Maybe the Celts clean this up on their own.
I think they spent a lot of money paying off the Celts, though.
Yeah, so,
they should have said muscle for hire.
Yeah, flaming arrows cost a lot of money.
Flaming arrows cost
more than a Celt.
All the money.
It's like Air Force versus the Marines kind of a thing. Or the Navy, naval air superiority, dropping smart bomb costs X amount, you can send in a bunch of guys to just shoot the fella.
Well, it seems like they don't.
Even have
they get their asses kicked
for the Celtic army. They could have just used what they had.
Yeah, the arrows by themselves
They
would
didn't
have
just
worked
have
better.
flaming
all of
arrows.
Robin Hood.
They had flaming
Fire.
cannonball thing.
Flaming cannonball, yeah.
Yeah, fire just, burns the shit out of everything.
You don't need to do anything.
Which they should have
known.
known.
One man could have died.
Because apparently they've been burning everything this whole time.
Well, so they get the flaming arrows done after everything's burning, and then they use regular arrows to take people out that are running away from the fire.
Right.
Yeah. See,
There was no man on fire. There should have been a man on fire.
Valley, apparently, surrounded by elevated ground. That just wasn't a good place to build.
No, that's a really bad defensive
Yeah.
position.
In a hole.
Robin Hood's
In a
last
hole.
stand.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they thought it would never get found. They're like,
You should have died
stupid enough
there.
to build that there.
Well, they
Yeah.
never explained why he didn't.
Don't
die
go over there. Nobody's stupid enough for that.
I don't know how Robin Hood landed in a thatch, some thatch material with a rope on fire. And
It's like a huge building. It's like the convention center of the Ewok village.
right, and how did it not burn down? Everything burnt, but the one village.
But the biggest building in the village.
And he fell like 30 feet into this thing. How did he not get knocked out and then burn to death?
Or impaled.
He's
Or
okay.
impaled. He's okay, and he shows up like with Jesus light.
Yeah.
It's
like Close
Christian.
Encounters. Is it the aliens? No, it's just Costner.
And the light was weird because the light wasn't like sunlight; it was like somebody's RC lights.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
coming from the ground.
Oh, they put a bunch of smoke there and they lit it up with like 3 5K lights, so it was just ridiculous.
So what light is
Whatever.
that?
That
in
was Kevin
the Ewok
Costner
village?
coming back from
Yeah,
the
there's not
bars, and
any
he's
light
like, "Oh,
in
thank
the-
God he
in
is
the
going to
world
show
as
up to
bright
shoot
as
today."
that
And there's
shit.
the taxi lights behind him, like.
Well, like, where did he go, though? Like, they were all in the village where he fell into the thing. Did
No,
he
they
wa-
were- they
did
had
he
to run
wander
out.
off just so we could make an entrance?
That's right. They had to wander off out in the woods and then come back.
right.
So they came back to the burned up place, and he's still in the burned up place. What was he doing that whole time?
Right. But then he came over the ridge like he went somewhere.
Yeah.
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 Did he go take a bath in the river?
Well, if he did, he ruins it because the next plan to free everybody that got kidnapped in the battle is to cover yourself in horseshit again.
Which, of all the shits, is one of the least smelly.
It is,
Yeah.
which is too bad that we all know that.
Herbivores don't
I bathe in
have...
horseshit all the time.
Yeah,
good for
herbivores
your
don't
skin.
have smelly shit. Or
That's
as
the
smelly.
dumbest thing, though. Like, who are you? You smell gross.
Do I know you? You look familiar. Ew, you're stinky.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Move it
Bye-bye.
You
along.
couldn't possibly be.
You can't be Robin Hood, even though you look
And
just
why
like
did
Robin
he just
Hood.
wear a hood? That's his costume.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
That was supposed to be the thing with Robin Hood, is he's a master of disguise, and he's shitty at disguise in this movie.
He looked just like him.
Well, and both times that he went under disguise, the first time in the church to find Maid Marian, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he stunk them because she's like about ready to bomb. She's got her handkerchief under her nose, like, get the hell out of here.
Like, that's
And
his
he's
thing.
like,
Poop and pee.
he's like, excuse me, miss, can you spare something for a blind old man? I was like, dude, why don't you just mock Duncan just a little bit more? And then, at the very end, he comes back and he rubs shit all over himself and he's got the hood again. He's like, I'm a blind man.
That's
like,
his go-to, cloak and
Yeah.
shit.
yeah, cloak shit and blindness is
Well,
what
he
he
hung out with
pretends.
Duncan long enough to know what a blind old man would act like.
So they're planning this escape rescue and they've got this castle set and made out of logs.
Well, some of the Merrymen got arrested.
Right. So they got to go save them.
Yeah.
But so Robin
sheriff
Hood's
is gonna
standing
kill
over
the
the
baby.
castle set and he's like, I think it's time for Poop and Cloak.
Poop and cloak.
Poop and Cloak again? Poop and Cloak sucks.
Yeah, and
How do
everybody
we do
else has
something
something
else?
kind of new and inventive.
It's always Poop and Cloak with
Aziz
you.
is gonna blow up half the damn castle, and he's like, I'm going back to Poop and
Well,
Cloak.
why
Poop and
is
cloak.
Aziz wearing like the cleanest piece of white fabric
Yeah.
ever?
He's supposed to be a leper.
Yeah, the leper. They
And
would
he's-
do that. It's like not
He was the
cheesecloth,
only
but
one though. Like,
That had anything clean.
and he out of and
Why was
They
that
let the
completely
leper
white?
in there anyway. And like, get that guy out of
Yeah,
here.
you can't come in here.
Yeah.
You need to go quarantine
There's a
yourself
colony for
with the
you.
other lepers.
And why is it that at the very end of this movie, most of the men that, actually don't die during the battle scene, like Robin Hood and his brother Christian Slater, both have bejeweled, like, clothes on.
fancy people.
Mhm,
yeah.
Fancy pants.
Yeah,
everybody's
like
pretty
little
studded
rhinestones
up.
all over their fucking clothes. It's like, nobody
that was-
had bejeweled shit back then. It was
They
like...
got that from
No, they're
Small
studs, sweetheart. It's not bejeweled. It's studs.
Either way.
No,
It
some
looked-
of them...
was the
It looked
bullshit
bejeweled.
thing.
though.
Yeah,
Some of them-
it was
some
supposed-
of them were bejeweled.
Yeah,
right.
some of them were
Christian
little
Slater's
jewels.
plants were bejeweled.
They were
Kevin
fancy.
Costner had velour.
Yeah.
He did have velour pants.
Speaking of the brother, that was the most
Dumb
bullshit
scene.
reveal.
brother.
That had nothing to do with anything.
No,
Nothing.
you could have
Like,
kept all that out.
It was like the reveal that who cares?
The who cares reveal?
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Kevin Costner's like, I hope you die in battle because I'm not sharing half of my dad's land with you.
Yeah, but then like Kevin Costner played it up like, oh, I guess now I have to protect you because you're my brother. Like, go fuck yourself.
You've been an asshole to me this whole time,
Right.
Christian Slater.
Well, then Christian Slater's an asshole again at the rescue.
It's his half brother.
During the
What
rescue.
is up with Christian Slater and that little kid's face?
You're wearing a hood. Turn around, dickhead. Just turn around. And
Why
he
is
said
he
he gets
even-
into his face. Don't tell anybody.
Why
Well, I
even-
wouldn't even
Why
fucking
is he
seen
even
you.
down there? He's the one guy that everybody knows that he's like,
Yeah.
I can't be the guy that go down there. They all think that
Yeah.
I betrayed you guys.
Right.
That we have to come up with something else. Send Azeem down there or whatever.
Well, he's
Instead,
gonna blow
like,
everything.
hey, look at me. And he kind of gets the fisheye lens for a little bit.
Oh, he does.
But then, like, the plan was, like, in perfect concert. Like, the thing had to go off perfectly. And
Right,
he's just
absolutely.
like, hey, look at me, kid. Don't say
Totally
anything."
fucked up the plan.
Yeah,
Oh,
Christian
that's not
Slater
part of the
sucks.
plan.
No.
This is poop and cloak operation,
Right.
not bug eye operation. So he gets captured
And
gets his
fucks
head
up the
stuck
whole
on
plan.
fucks up the whole plan. Gets his head stuck on the explosive device that Azeem is just about to shoot, and
Which he
now they
should've
can't
done,
shoot.
you know,
He should have just
in
blown
my
it.
opinion,
Just
he should've
screw
done
him.
it.
I feel
but
like
wait a
Azeem would
minute.
have made that
But
decision.
what part of the plan was Christian Slater anyway?
What part of the plan was the explosives right onto the thing where everybody's standing
Right.
that you're needing to rescue?
We were gonna blow the shit out of them. They were all gonna die.
Yeah.
They were all
They
gonna
were.
fucking die.
They were.
So
Those
maybe
explosions
Christian
were big.
Slater was supposed to be like a heckler down in the crowd, like, yeah, kill him! And then they were like, get down, blow up the thing, like, distract them so they won't
By
kick
blowing
the
them up.
stools.
By blowing them up.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good plan,
No,
dude.
no,
I'm
it was
just
a
saying.
terrible
It was a
plan.
really bad plan.
Operation.
And then they had
Poop
the
and Cloak
wagon
never works.
full of that shit, and they just kind of parked it off to the side. Like, what good is that fucking
But then,
doing?
know what
Right.
that wagon did? That gave the most epic shot of the movie, which is Kevin Costner shooting a flaming arrow
That's
away
right.
from said blown
It's
up wagon.
300
right.
frames
That's
per
the-
second.
That's a lot. Or
That's the movie poster.
That's the movie
Yep.
That's a
poster.
movie poster.
They needed all of that for that one badass shot.
awesome
That's
shot.
where Bryan Adams should have kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do it all for
No,
love.
that's Three Musketeers.
Oh, damn it.
So
Well, then we can't use it right there because it's too slow.
So-
Do-do-do-do-do.
the plan.
That's what he would have been
Everything
waking
they
up
do
the
for
neighbors
Boom.
with explosions.
Yeah. the plan doesn't work, and all the people that are being hung end up dead. Because that's what happens if you put a noose around somebody and kick a stool out from under them. They don't asphyxiate. You get a broken neck.
Yeah.
Dead.
supposed to.
Dead.
But they only had him falling.
They only had him
foot and a half.
falling like a foot and a half.
I think he's
so,
still...
no.
That's a
No.
lot of
No.
weight.
No,
You don't think that would break
No.
somebody's
I
neck?
think so.
no, I don't think
No.
so.
I'm
I
on the
don't
break
think it
neck
would
rope.
either.
And
The kid definitely.
I think
That
it would
kid
break
took a long
somebody's
fall.
neck. However, I don't think that's a 100% unless you get a little more distance there.
You have to have more
Yeah,
distance.
it's
No, no,
like
no,
when they did the
100%.
Old West shit, you'd fall about 6 feet, and
Yeah.
then that was the end of it.
Right.
Well, they had their arm, like the kids struggling at the, like they
Yeah,
had
they
their
didn't
arms
even
for-
tie him up to where.
No, it was, yeah.
Yeah, they
that
were like
seems
they
real
were
dumb.
all holding the rope. Like this is the worst hanging ever.
Ever.
Well, Kevin Costner can then shoot an arrow and cut a rope.
2 arrows.
Well,
It
he
did take
Oh,
can't.
he did two, that's right.
Yeah, he missed
He had to
kind of
lick
the
one.
first time. He had to lick it. He licked the
What did that do? What was that
fletch.
supposed to do?
Well, it makes it fly truer, of course.
Oh,
And apparently faster, more aerodynamic.
Yeah.
right.
Which,
Just one side, though.
Sam can say what he wants, but he can probably use his own common sense. I'm going to say something about the Mythbusters. I did see an episode where they tried that with a billion different ways of doing it, and they couldn't get it to snap. The momentum of just the blade just shoves the rope slightly over, and the arrow just keeps going. There's
Right.
just no
Well,
way
it's
to
like
do
when
that.
they shoot at a lock on a door.
Well, there's they make, and I don't know if they tried one. So there's guys that go out and turkey hunt with bows, and they use these really wide, flat blades,
And when they
just
get the
decapitate
turkey,
them.
Yeah,
It just pushes their neck slightly
No,
to the
it'll-
left, so they never really
No,
get
they're shaped
anything.
like a backwards cone, like so the arrow's like this, and they're
And it's wide, and it just takes the heads right off. So
But that's
you
not the kind of
probably
arrow.
take a rope with
The
one
long
of those, but not
Yeah.
a normal arrow.
That's
they
not a
didn't
Kevin
have-
Costner
but-
arrow.
No.
yeah, they didn't have forges like for those. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what
For
forges.
Yeah,
giant
dude.
flat turkey arrows.
Right.
Anyway, so you get Little John pushing the hangman's noose over, and there's something that stops it from killing everybody, and everybody gets free. And that's when Morgan Freeman shows up and tells everybody in the movie,
The plot of the movie.
what's going on, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we should revolt," and then all of a sudden there's like 100 people fighting the sheriff's men.
Revolt!
I am not one of you. No shit, you're black.
Well, finally now we get to the plot of the movie. The plot of the movie, the plan, is to marry and impregnate Maid Marian.
This is the sheriff's
That's
plan.
it. I don't know what happens after that.
Okay.
So he has a
Somebody tell me
legal
what
heir. That way he's legally bound.
His heir, he would be the consort's when you're married to, but don't give them the title.
Well, what's Charles? Not Charles. Philip.
Philip?
He's the Queen Mum's husband.
He's a consort.
Okay, so that's the same. Isn't that the same thing?
Marian is not
don't call
the
her
queen.
the Queen Mum. She's the Queen.
Mom.
Her
She's the
mother
queen.
was the Queen Mum.
Yeah.
I thought if you were just
Queen Elizabeth is just the Queen.
I thought if you were the Queen, you were just the Queen Mum.
No.
No.
So that's the whole plan.
So
Him
Marian
and
wasn't the
witch.
queen, so he wouldn't be a consort. He would be like a steward.
Right. But doesn't that imply that King Richard would have to be dead?
Yeah, but I think that's
would.
what he's planning on. That's what
the grand
what Nikita Khrushchev's there for.
assuming.
Does King Richard not have any children?
Apparently not.
No.
No.
Well, in real life, King Richard died. He didn't make it.
Yeah,
King
he
John.
did. Yeah.
John becomes the king.
Yeah, Richard.
After all this shit happens, John still becomes the king.
Who's John?
Richard's brother.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
He's not in this movie.
No, he's not. So this plan really wouldn't have worked.
No.
Goes off without a hitch.
That's
You
why
get
I'm
nothing.
saying the Disney
It's
movie is
assuming-
better, because John was the tiger in the Disney movie, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Disney was
actually
more
just a
historic, or
wimpy
not historic.
lion.
They were
That
more
was-
accurate than
Maybe
Right.
Yeah.
get the hair before you kill the brother, and maybe just he had long-term plans.
You got to kill a lot of people
You
to
gotta
get your
kill a
child
lot of people.
in
If you're-
in
if
charge.
you're-
Didn't
and
say
still-
it was a good plan.
You're
To
still
play the
not in
cousin
charge.
card, like
You're still
I'm
not
gonna
the king.
Work my way up from cousin. There's a lot of blood to be spilled.
Well, either way, it's not going to work out for him. This
Okay,
this
but you
master
know what we
plot
haven't
is-
talked about up to this point, which you really need to bring into it now before we go any further, is that the sheriff's mom is this old, haggard, two-colored-eyed witch.
How do you know she's his mom?
Because of
I
the
think it kind
argument,
of
the fussy
implied.
argument that they have.
Yeah, where he's
their
in there
relationship?
I mean, we kind of mentioned her, like, he went in and he stabbed up her dinner, and then, but she's got, like, witchcraft that requires blood for everything, so she just
Absolutely.
gets a pan or whatever's handy, cracks open, like, this huge chicken egg that's just all blood, and then throws runes in it, and that's how she knows that Robin of Locksley is going to be trouble. And then,
Thanks for clearing that up for us.
yeah, but she's like, I thought I did a really good interpretation of her for the 0.5 episode, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you were.
Because my voice was just about right.
You were a
Except
good
she
wish.
didn't say Doyle in trouble. She was just
No,
like,
she's dumb.
Yeah.
But
But,
the wedding room.
but behind every nefarious plan in the Middle Ages is always a pagan witchcraft.
Absolutely.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, because he is pretty blumbering. I'm pretty sure the sheriff had syphilis and it was eating his brain.
I think you're absolutely right. He,
I'm pretty.
Rickman was just so crazy.
He was a terrible, terrible nemesis bad guy.
Yeah.
You can't help but laugh at him.
Yeah.
He
He's a
was
zany
like,
bad
guy.
that can't be my arch nemesis. This guy's hilarious.
Hey, but he was a gentleman. He didn't want to rape Maid Marian until after they were married.
Right,
Oh,
right.
And then his witch mom gets on board
That's
and
not
gives
a
him
redeeming quality.
and gives him a pillow to put beneath her head as he rapes her, just to be a gentleman.
Right.
I'm like,
the pillow.
what the hell?
They're very caring
Oh, yeah.
bad guys.
That's what I've been waiting for is that, like, here's this pillow so that you can be raped a little bit more comfortably.
Yeah.
Not gonna get your head bonked.
So now to my
I think when
my
she's,
favorite
like,
part of the
getting-
end part of the movie is this magic door.
This
that
magic
lets
room.
Room. Well, it's the door. Lets people in or out at whim. So they bash him.
No, it's the room
The
because
room's magic.
because
the witch comes out of nowhere.
The witch leaves and goes someplace else. She doesn't go through the door because she attacks Azeem, who's standing in front of the door.
On the other side.
And the priest also doesn't go through the door.
He
The door
leaves.
is still closed.
Doesn't
And
she,
then
like,
Azeem's
fall
standing
out
on the
of
other.
He stabs her with his spear. Doesn't she, like, fall out of a damn window?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Eventually, not that. Not
Not
that.
that.
No.
Yeah, what happens to her after she gets out? She just, like,
He
fucks
runs
off?
away.
She just fucks off.
But Robin
Oh, yeah,
Hood,
she fucks off.
Robin Hood can't figure out the magic room
Nope.
because he has to run to the roof
And take, like, four banners down and tie them together.
and calculate the distance for the silk banner
Into this
Perfectly.
little itty
Perfectly.
bitty window.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have anybody to
I
use
bet
their
he would
intestines.
get up to the top of that building and look at the other where the thing was. What window was what room are they in?
I don't know what floor this is.
Marion, are you there? swing something out the window so I know which one to
And it
go
would have been
for.
great had he miscalculated a little bit, because he throws himself out wide. Like, he jumps off the roof about 14 feet too far, so he gets really a lot of momentum coming back through. If he missed, he would have clobbered himself.
Just done the classic cartoon thing where he hugs the wall and then slides down.
For sure.
So he swings into the room, and the battle ensues.
Which is a really long sword fight.
Really
It isn't
long.
a very good
With a
sword
really
fight.
long sword.
That sword, and the sheriff in his pajamas with his sword, just swinging it at just whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, and he cuts, so then here's another movie flaw, the cut of the chin.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the
That only
sheriff
lasted
cuts
for
Robin
that
Hood's
one
chin.
Scene.
And then it's not cut later.
Yeah, it's not cut
It's
for
not
the
cut,
rest
like,
of it, yeah.
just the one scene. It's not even like they remembered any scene ever again.
Yeah, it was like 2 shots he was bleeding, and then after that, no.
Yep, back to Costner chin.
He's got to be good looking for his romantic kiss.
Ugh.
You can't get blood on her.
That was the grossest. Did you see her cheeks were all sucked in like he was sucking the life out?
I just think Costner's been able to go on and do more movies.
Yeah, he's an android. He sucks the soul out of all the actresses.
This goes back to the before they get into the sword fight, when they get shot out of the catapult and go over the wall.
Oh,
In
yeah.
that shot, there's the door. And I'm thinking they're going to get up to the top, and that's going to help them some way. But they just go over the top all the way and land in some. They could have just walked through the fucking door.
So 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
So 3 seconds later, the village people are like, "Lift up the door."
Yeah,
Come on in.
Hey, assholes, get off the gate so we can lift it.
Yeah, why are they climbing on the gate? They know that that's not going to work, right?
Where are you
doesn't-
going?
Yeah. Oh boy.
the top of this and then...
I need a better view.
I want to see! Duncan's up there.
Oh no, poor
Oh,
Duncan's
Duncan's dead.
Duncan died.
Duncan died in the
They
battle
really
of
should have just played
Ewok
that out,
Village.
though.
No, he didn't die in the battle. He died on the horse.
Yeah, because they shot him.
Did they? I thought he just died of exhaustion.
Oh, maybe he did.
Exhaustion from laying on a horse for 2 hours.
He got all the brambles in the face.
It actually was him knocking things over. Like, the guys are like, when they're about to
he was
kidnap
dead before he
Marian.
even got to the Ewok Village?
When he laid him down, he's like, his last breath was, Maid Marian's been captured.
Yeah. He came to, he's like, "I'm so glad I found you."
Oh, that's
That was like
sad,
his death
dude.
breath. Yeah, no, then they just laid him there, and that's the last you see.
Yeah, they were proud
So
of
Then
now
they have a
thinking
whole
back on
battle.
this, you're
Duncan's
right.
getting stepped on by
For
Celts.
sure. Poor Duncan was a sneer.
Yeah. I thought he was the comic relief, but now it's just, I feel bad.
Now he is just a string of blood across the camp.
Oh, what's on the bottom? Duncan!
Oh, I got Duncan on my foot.
Well, the way horses
Duncan, is
kick
that
up dirt.
Like, the battle's
You
over.
got Duncan
and
on your face.
Where have you been?
It's the
I
guy
slipped
with the
on
crooked
Duncan and I
helmet.
hit my head.
I love the guy with the crooked helmet from the beginning because he can't just go and get a different helmet.
Or
Or
just
bend
gotta
it
have-
back.
just bend it back.
It looked like aluminum
got hit
foil.
by
I don't know why
a
they
gotta-
piece of wood.
He's
It's
got to
a
have that
crossbow.
through the whole movie just so you can know, oh, that's the guy from the beginning.
But who
Like, that
cares?
even matters.
Who cares? He's just some assorted henchman.
That's right.
So terrible. I love the music in this movie, though. Not
The
the Bryan
horns.
Adams music, just the adventure
There
music.
wasn't Bryan Adams
Just
music.
the
I thought this was the Bryan Adams soundtrack.
Yeah,
the piano, the opening or the
Yeah, I mean, they used the theme to it, but, like, the actual... I think that when we turned it off, the song was about to come
I
on,
think it was too.
but
Did you really think Bryan Adams was going to bust out in song during it,
no.
like actual vocals?
No.
Then what do you want from it?
But the Morgan Creek theme song, though, was in this movie multiple times.
I thought that was the Lord of the Rings music.
No.
No, Lord of the Rings is the.
I'm not quite sure that's how that goes, but it was
Well,
pretty
yeah.
No,
close.
that is the exact notes. Trust me.
So
We're in the magic room
Rickman's
still.
I'm in the
character
magic room and I can sing however. I
throughout the
want.
course of the whole movie it was really hard to. It seemed it was over the top enough to where
It helped that thing out.
for sure it did.
Which, when you were here for the yesterdays, when we did their Friday, when we did this, he turned it down twice until the producers were finally like, okay, fine, you can do whatever it is you want. And that's apparently what he wanted to do.
Do you think this movie's self-aware of its campiness?
No.
Do you think they knew what they were doing?
He was
Alan
self-aware of
Rickman
it.
was.
Oh,
You
yeah.
think
Yeah.
so? For
Yeah,
sure.
because he's like, he did his little thing about being sane. Like, it's the most sane thing to do.
I've had a
He's
really
like,
bad childhood. One day I will tell you all about
think
it.
that he knew what he
Yeah, and
was
he
doing.
looked, the look was like, I don't know, he knew the campiness. He went into it.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie, I don't think so.
I wonder if
That's
everybody else in the
Definitely,
cast, other than Costner, knew that it was a flaming pile of shit, though.
No, I don't think
No.
Sean Connery did because
I think Morgan
he
Freeman
really
was
acted
curious.
out his section.
Well, he
He
showed up
was
and
there
got his
for
day rate.
20 minutes.
Yeah, like 20 minutes at most. Put this bullshit on it and say these two
They
lines.
gave him a hooker. They
You
said
get the
they
hell
show
out of
up
here.
Free hookers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used his castle.
I
That
love
was his
hookers.
property.
He's like, if you're gonna use my castle, I want a line in this thing.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Recommend it?
I would recommend
I
it.
would recommend that because I think that most people have seen
Way to
this.
cut
And
Chelsea off.
sorry.
I would just say I would recommend it to those 11-year-olds back in 91 that were watching it.
To check it out again and
Yeah.
realize how crappy it is?
I
Yeah.
would like to watch it again as my 11-year-old self.
Ooh. The Chelsea
No,
Time
actually, you know what?
Machine.
91, I was not 11. Up to 11.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's the redeeming,
recommend.
the why you need to do this is because you believe that it is a good movie, and it actually is just like, whoa, holy crap, this sucks.
When I watched this movie the first time, because I haven't seen this movie since it probably came out on VHS or DVD or whatever, and I remember liking that movie a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I've always liked the story of Robin Hood, and it was just kind of that young, impressionable age, I guess, you know? Where,
So would you recommend it?
would I recommend it? If someone hasn't seen it in 20 years and they were 11 when they first saw it, then yes, I would. But
Okay, Sam, now you can
That
chatter
was
on
the same
here.
exact thing I was saying. If you should watch it just so that you realize that this is a terrible movie. It's not a good movie.
Well, now, on
Everybody saw it was a good.
Unless
thought it
you're
was a
trying
good
to
movie.
preserve how much you liked it.
If you really like this and you want to think it's good, don't watch it again.
Right.
Or
now,
if you've never seen it, I would watch it just because. I mean,
I wouldn't
the thing we
recommend it
keep
for somebody who's
forget-
never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's a waste of time.
You know, like, honestly,
Yeah,
I
I
agree with that.
I
wouldn't.
thought the romance sequences in this movie were a lot better than they turned out to be. Because watching as a kid, I was like, oh, man, there's just this great romance
I do
in
remember
there.
the romance as a kid.
And then, like, watching it, I'm like, that lady has fetal alcohol syndrome and pubic hair. And it's just weird. Like, she's just being a stalking weirdo creeper.
Creepy.
Weirdo.
Creepy.
and that there's really no romance hardly at all. To
I
begin
know.
with.
And I was like,
remember
why
it
did I
being
think this was a
romantic,
a love movie? Yeah, Chelsea's
Yeah.
with me. She
Yeah,
knows.
for
It's
sure.
because you guys were watching the music video with fucking Brian
That's probably
Adams,
true.
and just be like, "Oh,
Probably.
it's so amazing."
But I would do
That is
it.
100% true.
I would watch this movie. I still like it. I still like this movie. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
So how much did this movie make?
So in 1991, this cost $48 million. It made $390 million.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to wrap this up, but I want to ask one more question. Now knowing that, all that information, when do you think the next time you would be able to be talked into watching this movie again would be? Give me a year estimate.
I'd say 15 or 20 years.
I think I need 15.
You were unable to talk me into watching it this time.
There you go.
It's
There you
gonna be a while.
I just don't
think
see
that-
the point. Like once my expectation had been trampled by this showing tonight, I just don't see the point of even watching.
You're never
it
going to
again.
watch it again.
I don't think.
Okay.
Why?
I am kind of, because this is my second tour on making people realize that this is a bad movie, that, like, I think I may have to, like, pass the torch. Like, I may be done watching this movie. And I think this is my third time of making people realize, like, I have watched this to display its horribleness 3 times now, and I think that's the end of me. I'm going to retire.
I'm
That
pretty
might have been the
excited.
last time.
I would say that this winter, when I get really sick and I've got snot just hanging out my nose and I've got diarrhea and there's just nothing good about my life at that point, I would watch this again.
boy.
Now that we own a copy of it,
Oh,
I'd be
boy.
like, yep, doing it.
Oh, boy.
And then I'd be like, look at the love scenes. I'll text Chelsea while she's at
Well,
work.
We're going to do the butt, where we're going to watch it and try to find butt symbols and drink.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
so me
true.
and Chelsea are
Very
doing
well
this
happen.
next
Yeah.
weekend.
There you go.
Yeah, the more, every time you see something that could resemble a butt,
Sundays.
I'm down for that. I'll
Yeah, I
join
could
that.
make this a drinking game, I
yeah,
suppose.
I would see it sooner than 15 or 20 years if it's a drink.
If it's a drinking game.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
drinking game would be worth it.
All right. So what we do on the show is we usually go out, or we go out with saying "get to the chopper." So I want you guys to give us your best Arnold get to the chopper.
Wait.
to the chopper.
Right before you do that, though,
Oh.
I think the viewers' time is best spent watching the Brian Adams video.
There you go.
There you
We
go.
got to wrap this up.
Get to the chopper.
Nice.
Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper.